What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the only podcast on the internet where we like to smoke down, talk movies, talk video games, talk comic books, and today we are vaping some Skywalker OG wax. And today joining us in our roto is good old Roger.
Hello everyone, it is definitely awesome to be here yet again.
And Apollo God the freaking Sun.
How's it going, everybody?
And we're going to start off our show with a big one. We're going to have a double feature Chill Crew review.
Another double feature adventure.
Oh yeah. And this time we saw Deadpool and Zoolander 2.
And
Not necessarily in that order.
yeah, I was gonna say
opposite order.
I was gonna say at the beginning I was a little bit wary going in because we had depending on like how the schedule worked with the movies to going back to back. We had to see Zoolander 2 first, and that was the one I was so skeptical about.
Because I honestly kind of expected it to suck, but
I did too.
it was a pretty funny film.
I agree. It caught me by surprise. I thought it was going to go the way of Anchorman 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
That's
Homer-
kind of what I was expecting.
Homer like gave up like the best way how it was gonna turn out. It's like he's gonna go the horrible boss route where they actually improve upon or stick to the funniness of like
Stick
the
to
original.
the basic elements,
Yeah.
bring some of them back, but don't rely on the original and make it like funny.
I was gonna say, yeah, especially
Funny and fresh.
You can definitely rely too much on the original and just make it seem like a horrible carbon copy.
You don't want it to be a fucking copy-paste.
Zoolander 2 definitely found that perfect mix, in my opinion.
I was gonna say, they only reference like a few things, probably from
some gold, like they brought back Blue Steel and Magnum.
Yeah, exactly.
that
They do reference those styles, which was actually really cool.
Yeah, and they bring back his kid from the end.
Zoolander
of the
1, he was a baby, but like now the kid's like this is like 7 and 9 or years later or so, and the kid's an orphanage. And he's actually grown up, and he actually interacts with the cast. He's actually there for a decent amount of time, but not like too much.
At first, I thought it was kind of a cheap cop-out they did when they... I can't remember. The name's eluding me right now. The hot blonde chick. What's her face from all the other Ben Stiller movies?
Oh, I forget.
No,
I forget her name. No, she was...
Jennifer... No, that's Jennifer Aniston. Wrong. Whatever. Fans out there, you probably know who she is, but she's a pretty foxy lady. And at first, when they killed her off right in the beginning with no lines from her or anything, I thought that was it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they weren't gonna have her in any
yeah, she comes back in like some flashback type.
Zoolander's wife. You're talking about, right?
Yeah, Zoolander's wife.
His ex-wife at this case.
Dead as fuck. But
And
I
there's
thought the way she died was hilarious.
But she actually
though,
did come back a few times, like as a ghost, or kind
of like a flashback type thing,
like Obi-Wan
Force
style of
but
Star
dude,
Wars.
I'm not going to spoil it at all, but my favorite part of this whole movie has to be some of the cameos they got.
Neil
deGrasse
Tyson and Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, pregnant Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
By far one of the funny moments of Zoolander 2 is the random cameos, and they work so damn well. They know how to be goofy and shit like that.
And Owen Wilson just keeps he's in. Essentially, his lover is a whole orgy.
Yeah. He doesn't have
like he's dating an orgy,
And
men and women, and also an animal.
I don't know, and an elf apparently.
Yeah, that's not,
I thought that was pretty hilarious.
No, and he doesn't even he just calls them straight up. Oh no, my orgy's calling, or
he refers to them as orgy.
So it's awesome too because it kind of fits into like Owen Wilson's character. He's just so lovable. You can't really hate him too much. He's not dumb, like not nearly I think as dumb as Zoolander. He's still dumb, but like he's not that dense, and he's also so free loving. As like you see him a little bit how he can be really cool in the first one, but he hated Zoolander at the time, so you really saw the bad side of him. This one is just you're seeing all like their friendship, grow.
Yeah, and of course you have
experience.
that, and you have that Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson chemistry there.
It works so well.
They work well together.
Yeah, you could tell they're best friends in real life.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I was gonna say I was also very happy to see the romantic slow-mo sex scene make its return from the first one.
Oh yeah,
except this time instead of a threesome with Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller and blonde chick.
Yeah,
it's
a whole.
It's just Ben Stiller and the new hottest.
Dude, and they even reference that three-way.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty funny. But yeah, using our unique marijuana-based rating scale, where starting at the bottom of the barrel, resin, which is like the stuff you scrape out of your bowl, the black residue and ash.
It's only meant for like those who really are so dedicated to the series.
Yeah, so desperate. Then we got mids, which gets you a quick fix, but it's like a mild buzz. Like it's for certain fans out there. Then you got dank, which gets you thoroughly baked, but there's some things they could improve upon. And then we got...
It's like a solid B.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got wax, which is a must-see. Leave your seat right now. Go to the theater. It'll melt your mind.
It's meant for everyone, because everyone must see it.
Time to trip your balls off.
Yeah, pause this podcast. Go see it. That's what it means.
All right. Well, Zoolander for me will sit at a solid dank because it's one of those rare movies that like I think is actually funnier than the first one. Kind of like Horrible Bosses 2 could be considered for some people.
And
and that's very rare, especially in comedies.
I was going to say, I like Horrible Bosses 2 more than the first one, slightly.
That's how I feel about this new Zoolander.
No, I give it the same rating.
I feel like some fans might put my head on a stake, though, because I know the original Zoolander had such a cult following.
Yeah.
But personally, I think the second one had some funnier moments, especially the
Stiller's
cameos.
Heydays, along with Owen Wilson. It was kind of like it was a good period that everyone wants to romance.
I definitely felt like they were managed to make this one a little more fun throughout a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I was
agree.
having a fun time when I was watching it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they know what parts to move on to and what part and like what parts like to never go back and revisit in terms of like comedy styles.
Good
like,
pacing for a comedy.
Yeah, especially like when it's more apparent when they don't really rely on fashion modeling as much as it was a bit hugely apparent.
Even
in the
Justin
first one.
Bieber's part, I'm not going to go into it too much for those who haven't seen it, but I thought his part was pretty funny even at the beginning.
Yeah, seeing him doing like
I thought he was going to be in the movie for like an hour. It was when I first saw the trailer.
But yeah, I guess it's from the trailer, like when he gets shot down. But it's even funnier in the movie.
He's very justified. He has a very
yeah.
justifiable death, I must say.
Yeah.
I would also throw this movie in the dank category. Very dank.
Nice. I'm glad. And we were all shocked. We all thought we had low expectations going in, so that's very exciting.
And the next film that we saw today was Deadpool.
Which is a super hyped movie now.
Round of applause, man. That was an awesome film. Definitely. I would love to see it again in theaters, but if not, I'll definitely see it again out of theaters.
I think it's a fun one to see in theaters.
Absolutely. It was action-packed. It was hilarious. And the storyline was very on point. It was very well directed.
Dude, the flashbacks were really well put, too. Like, it went from present to flashback at a good pace, not enough focus. I mean, that's the one part of so many superhero origin stories, is, like, going through, like, getting to the superhero part or power.
But I thought it was a decent origin story.
They did a very good job of kind of, like, starting in the middle where he's kicking ass and then, like, explaining how they got to that point as they did it. It was really cool.
And like you were saying about the story, one thing that surprised me about it was I actually liked the love story in it. Most superhero movies, the love story I didn't care for. This one I actually did.
I literally think, why are you even
I was
with
surprised
this
about
bitch? But this film, they did a good job, and I understood why he was with that.
Oh yeah,
so many reasons.
I don't know too much about Deadpool going into it. Like I don't know like his like story. I just know like a few tidbits.
I knew about cancer. That was it.
Yeah, I did know about that too. Yeah, as to why he looked so horrible. But I didn't know he had a girlfriend. Did he ever have one, or was that newly introduced?
No, he's had one before, but like comics, it changes all the time. Like,
gotcha. Okay. I just hope that they kind of stick a little bit more because I really did enjoy this character.
Well, I'm sure in the movie they will.
They're both really, they both are very compatible. They're both, witty back to each other.
I'm glad the humor was on point throughout.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was funnier than Zoolander, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, they definitely nailed down the Deadpool interacts now with just other characters, but also breaking through the fourth wall, per se.
Interacting with us.
And considering it only had a $58 million budget, which is a low one for Hollywood, especially superhero movies.
Yeah.
Man, you give me $10,000, I would have done this movie better.
And they referenced that budget, too, a few times.
Yeah. They did a good job with the effects, I felt like, especially the ending scene with the thing falling.
And I know Homer has heard me a few times complain a little bit about Cyclops at first with the trailer.
Colossus, you mean?
Or no, yeah, damn it. I know they're both C's, god damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Colossus, because I thought from the trailer he looked a little bit corny with the effects. I don't know. I just thought that there was a poor
it turns
CGI.
out his character just turns out to be kind of a corny character. I kind of like it.
I know, a corny superhero character. Yeah. A very lovable Russian teddy bear.
Yeah, I loved him more than I was expecting to.
And I thought he was gonna be the bad guy going in. I'm not gonna lie.
Because well, at first they kind of make him. I was like, kind of like not the involuntarily bad guy by stopping Wade from getting his revenge at first, and him having to cut off his own hand.
The violence in this movie is pretty over the top.
It was
and
awesome. It reminded me of Kick-Ass, all the good actions.
Yeah, you're right.
The way the camera panned around, it was sick.
And Deadpool's paving the way for rated R superhero movies now.
They should.
Sweet.
Because think about this. Not only is it the highest grossing rated R movie ever, it's the highest grossing X-Men movie, period. Like, no other
X-Men. the rated R? Movie? Oh, that's insane.
So this had a huge opening, and it quadrupled its budget, which is pretty cool.
That's so good. Oh, that's definitely your good amount of investment worth.
And I wonder, since it made more than any other X-Men movie, there's talks that they're looking at making the next Wolverine standalone rated R. And I wonder if they would ever consider making the whole X-Men universe rated R.
And the next Marvel universe rated R. The next DC universe.
I was going to say, you really could get really dark, especially with Magneto. Show how much he really hates humans by, like, using metal, by crushing people and shit like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Left and right, just blood splatter everywhere.
And there's even talks like now a Spawn movie's getting off the ground now, which was having trouble.
Radar, and it definitely has to be. Definitely.
And I've only read the Spawn origin, and I'd love to see it on the big screen.
And I'm not even a huge Spawn fan, but I just want to do it for the fans themselves, because they don't want like a childish version of Spawn, kind of like how we saw in the last movie that was made in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Although for Deadpool, I had some like nerdy nitpicks. Like, I don't understand why he wasn't using his like teleporting ability. I don't know if he gets it later or something.
Oh yeah, or maybe he becomes one of the Horsemen Apocalypse and gets more powers, and that's one of them.
That'd be insane. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know how he's gonna get tested again, or like how his powers are gonna improve. Maybe they'll just make him.
They take him back to the lab.
They nerf him down, maybe, because it'll be too easy.
But teleporting's tight, man. I wanted to see it.
Even his healing abilities are slow. They're down like half the speed of Wolverine's, or even probably less than. Probably like it's like a quarter of the speed. It took him forever for him to grow a hand back.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe, I don't know, I just feel like they're going to bring it in. And I wonder, like, we were talking in the car ride home, I wonder if they're going to get crazy with the storylines after a while, like, bring in Deadpool Corpse, or, like, Night of the Living Deadpool, crazy stories like that.
That would be really cool. Or, like, Thanos is going after Deadpool because he's cheating on Death with him. It's a whole love triangle thing.
Another thing, I kind of wish they did, like, in the comics sometimes, he'll be talking to the fourth wall. And, like, people think he's, like, schizophrenic or something. I kind of wish they played on that in this a little more.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talk about, like, him, like, understanding the fourth wall. Because then he'll, like, become that paranoid after he gets mutated and whatnot. Doesn't, like, make him look a little bit crazy. Some sort of sense. Sorry, I almost burped.
No, that's all good. But on our scale, I'd actually give this one a wax. Because it's a fun movie all the way through. The opening credits are even hilarious. And the end credits of the movie are hilarious. The post-credit scene.
Yeah.
So, all the way through, I had a fun time. It's a guaranteed fun time at the theater, so it gets a wax in my book. It's one of my best superhero movies I've seen in a while. Superhero movies keep getting better and better, dude.
Very true.
I also give it a wax as well, because it can be thoroughly entertained without even... I thought it was going to be supposedly just put too much comedy, not much action in there. I was dead wrong. Especially when we saw all the gore that we've seen.
Action. Well done,
all the
action
decapitations. And I thought they did the character justice for the most part. I even cared for this the villain of the movie, and I thought his powers were very generic.
Apex.
But they get enough backstory into him where I can understand this definite hate that Wade has for him.
Yeah, and it's pretty hilarious too.
I'm throwing this in the wax category.
Oh, wax all around.
Fantastic film, probably already in my top 5 of the year. I loved it.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be hard for a movie to top it this year.
If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't seen this film, just go ahead and click pause and just go to the theater.
We say that right now until like Oscar season comes by, then we just watch like 6, 7, 8 like really well-made, directed movies and we're like, fuck.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's going to be hard to top.
Moving aside from our reviews that we've had for the movies that we've seen today, now let's go over to cinema news in general. There's word in Hollywood, going through the grapevine per se, that there's a live-action Sonic movie coming out in 2008, and apparently it's rated PG-13.
You mean 2018?
Yeah, 2018, goddamn. I'm totally off today for obvious reasons. But honestly, especially Apollo never. He knows of Sonic, but he's never really liked it as much. But we grew up. Me and you, Homer.
I love Sonic.
So I want to get a lot of your opinions in on this because I'm very mixed.
I could never get into Sonic simply because I didn't get the logic in it. So it's a hedgehog and it runs super fast.
How does it
talk?
What is
you just go with it.
It's a cartoon hedgehog.
I like Crash Bandicoot, but like, I don't know.
Japanese games, you just go with the flow. They're always weird.
Dude, alright. One thing that really fascinates me about this. One, it's kind of weird that it's going to be a live-action CGI hybrid type movie.
Which I guess I'll be somewhat okay with.
Considering that's PG-13, it could work, especially if they focus on a chaos story. I'd love to see chaos stories told on the big screen.
You're right. That would actually be cool. And I was thinking in my head, I was being like CGI or animated humans. I don't know how I'd feel, like the interaction between them and Sonic. But if you actually got actors who, I don't know, can talk to a CGI hedgehog, I guess.
Yeah, dude. And if you have the end credit scene be like Shadow or something, that fans would go crazy.
Oh my god, that would be really cool. We have to make an ultimate life. We have to make some sort of ultimate life form, says the government.
Who's gonna play Robotnik though? That's good. That's a big if.
Yeah. Oh, that is so true. Oh my.
Danny DeVito would be perfect.
He actually.
He would.
Actually, would be perfect.
Apollo,
he has
you called it now.
He really did call it because he has the. Sold. He literally has the figure and the shape of the head.
I just thought about him,
and he has
like,
the hair almost.
Like Danny DeVito. So.
Dude, we're campaigning right now. Internet uproar. Danny DeVito for Dr. Robotnik.
He just needs to get like a weird ass mustache and like those Morpheus eyeglasses or whatever.
I think he can pull it off.
I think he definitely
has those in his car.
He probably does.
So. Many ways this movie could work, but many ways it could go wrong, especially if they try to focus on like a Sonic Boom type thing.
Yeah, please, trying to appeal a lot more towards kids. I mean,
but that's one thing that appeals to me about this. It doesn't focus on the current games, which currently suck.
Yeah.
And it has a chance to be a great Sonic story on its own.
And it could be PG-13 because if you get into Eggman, or as I say, Dr. Robotnik, for those OG people, so,
Sega Genesis.
His machines are powered by animals.
Yeah,
somehow.
He captures the animals and forces them to run.
Could that be why it's more PG-13, or it could be chaos? But it'd be hard to
all
introduce.
The above.
I can't wait to see Tails. Is he gonna have like a girl voice or a male voice? Because it always changes in every fucking Sonic game.
I predict male, but I don't know. I think he's male more often.
No, he definitely is more male, but it's just they always have a horrible voice actor playing the role. I just want
voice actors are key too. I want to know who's playing Knuckles.
The one from Sonic Adventures 2 was perfect, I thought.
Just please be good. Fingers crossed. That's all I ask on this movie.
Yeah, how many of the Sonic team are you going to introduce? Amy Rose, how are you going to introduce her?
I hope they go Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with it, and they all look too realistic and fucked up.
No, go the opposite. TMNT. Go look classic. Look classic like Sonic Adventure.
Look fucked up.
Make it probably even less serious too, because TMNT is always meant to be just chillax, bro. Like, going around eating pizzas with a few dark things going on. I mean, that's just the redub version before we took away from the comic books, which were way more violent.
We'll have to wait and see about the talent that gets put on this movie.
Yeah.
But we'll keep you guys posted.
Only time will tell at this point because we literally have no news about it.
Yeah,
we'll keep y'all posted.
Other than it's coming. And moving on to our next piece of movie news, we have a tidbit that a new movie called Death House is coming in 2017. And basically the plot of this movie is it's going to be an Expendables type movie, except you get all these horror icons that come together for this like 80s grindhouse type movie.
Sounds sick.
The story would be so stupid though. That's the only thing. Just because what would be the government's reasoning?
They all
to
receive
keep
letters
these?
in the mail, and then it's about
the government needs you, and then they all accepted the call of duty.
Basically, what I do know about plot is somehow they get all trapped together in like this hospital or asylum or something. They get trapped together somehow.
Wait, so it's not technically a death house? It's like a death.
Or it's probably a giant house. Probably. My bad.
Just a slaughterhouse.
Very interested to see how this goes. I know it's going to be rated R.
I hope they go Cabin in the Woods appeal where the government is just doing this for some sort of sick pleasure, and everyone's betting on who's gonna win or who's gonna come out on top. And
Cabin in the Woods style.
I love it.
I expect we're going to see some over the top gore too, kind of back in the day. Give it that kind of feel.
Does this? Okay, so this.
I know Danny Trejo.
Frankenstein, Dracula.
No, not them, not them. Just like I don't know exactly. Just like actors and like directors all coming together. I don't know exactly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Kind of like how like Expendables, all the action heroes came together.
Oh.
Like I know Danny Trejo is gonna be in it. Who played Machete?
I know that too.
I think the guy who played Jason is going to be in it. I don't know exactly.
The guy who did Freddy, I know, is in it.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be playing their actors, though. I don't know exactly how it's going.
Gotcha. That's going to be weird.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. That's why it's going to be Expendable-like. And I just don't know how it's going to go, man.
It's still going to do well in the box office just because so many diehard horror fans, and there's
especially
a lot of them, are going to go out and see it. As they should. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Paying homage to
and
the
basically,
old times.
Besides the tidbits of the plot, all we know is it's coming sometime 2017. Probably Halloween.
Yeah,
keep your eyes
cliche.
Our next bit of movie news is about a new film rendition of the 80s horror film called Invisible Man. And
also known as Hollow Man 2, if those who never heard of it.
And it looks like we're going to have Johnny Depp as the actor that plays him. So
Johnny Depp going full on invisible on us.
Trying to go all horror and crazy psychopath type of invisible person.
And just so you guys know, this is like connected to The Mummy and that cinematic universe that Universal is making. Like, it's going to be a cinematic universe where all the classic horror villains, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, and now apparently Invisible Man come together and battle somehow.
This is going to be so stupid.
I hope it's good.
How would he win? He doesn't have any powers.
He could go invisible and...
But the Mummy...
change the odds.
The Mummy is going to wreck shit. It has mysticism powers, and it's creepy as fuck.
The Mummy's going to take on the Wolfman.
God. Actually, just get the Leprechaun in there. It's game over. He's OP as fuck.
It's a weird choice to put for the cinematic universe. I thought they'd go more with Dracula and stuff early on, but I guess they're going Mummy. Now they're going Invisible Man. Bit off the wall, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of random. I guess they...
But as we saw for Mummy, they're getting top talent with Tom Cruise. Now they're getting top talent with Johnny Depp for The Invisible Man.
They're definitely putting a lot of fucking effort into it. And honestly,
I'm hoping
everyone should be hopeful to it.
Because I want to see a non-superhero cinematic universe work.
I know, right? Something other than that? Or maybe other than Star Wars too, I guess, because there's always a
they're starting theirs too right now.
Especially if you merge, if they get into the Old Republic era.
Oh, I hope they do. I predict they will. A trilogy's coming after Episode 9. I predict it.
Can't wait for it, though. If it happens. Oh, and there's no one that would be more excited than me.
Or actually, recently I saw online people were wondering if it could be a Netflix series live action, and I could be interested in that if they put good budget into it.
Old Republic?
Yeah.
Really?
It could be.
They definitely should.
Because they're looking into doing one, but they might do a bounty hunter probably.
They would have to put a lot of money into it. I'm talking about Game of Thrones, big budget worth, and like 500 million or so, 600
million.
Game of Thrones.
How much does Netflix put in for House of Cards? Don't they put a decent amount down for that?
They probably have to just get Kevin Spacey in general.
I'm pretty sure Netflix put a lot of money into their shows, though, especially like Daredevil and stuff.
Yeah, and it also kind of depends.
And it shows.
Depends on the locations House of Cards is in. Maybe since they're in so many government buildings that they have to rent it out for a few hours, and it costs a shit ton of money. Probably it could be just that too.
So Netflix has the money to put down for an Old Republic type thing.
Yeah, and all their series so far have been pretty damn good. Even that Orange is the New Black shit. If people still getting that, and I've never seen it before, but apparently that's
not
good.
That great, in my opinion. I know a lot of chicks like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of women. That's the only people I know that really watch.
Yeah, lots of women.
Surprisingly.
I know, dude. But yeah, we just went on that little tangent.
However, we're always going on tangents just because all these freaking topics that we have, especially did you guys hear they're actually making a Transformers Bumblebee movie that's coming out apparently?
Oh my god, like a spin-off movie?
If you guys don't recall that this is the one Transformer that can't talk. He has to siphon through radio signals like to get certain song lyrics.
Get samples.
Yeah, song samples to help him. So
a Bumblebee spin-off movie's coming?
Yeah, I'm guessing. I hope it's like during like somehow prequel before they get to Earth, like somehow the war in Cybertron when he has a voice maybe, because they say it gets damaged in the first one.
Yeah,
somehow.
But then we read like the comments and like Transformers Prime, he gets his voice back or something.
Oh, he does? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
something like
know.
that. So they can follow that, but still, so far every Transformers movie's been trash. So who wants to see
I
a
like the first
spin-off?
one, but all the others are trash.
Yeah, speaking of cinematic universes, we're going to get this trash, a Transformers cinematic universe. How does this universe make so much money? It's garbage.
That's because there's a lot of people that like to see explosions. Those same people that like Transformers.
Mindless stories
people,
with explosions.
People that like
on-screen diarrhea.
There are Transformer fans, and then there are the military type favorite fans of that like to see explosions and gunfire and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Humanity surviving through the ashes, per se.
I know. I hope now that we're getting a Transformers movie every year, that like finally fans will stop wanting to see it and it just goes down the
Same
toilet.
thing as I hope for Call of Duty. It just needs to stop, like Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed for years.
And at least they're stopping, but Call of Duty's just still milking that
milking the cash cow.
And somehow
This
Black
dead
Ops 3
cow.
was still the most sold of 2015 somehow,
Kill me.
which was disappointing.
That's because it's like the one game that everyone just like knows, because that can talk about just like Mario, because it's just like the typical like generic FPS now.
And I'm sure when we see the box office for this Bumblebee movie, we're gonna be just as disappointed.
As we probably should, because of all the shit that we've been served on a platter in the last few years.
But yeah, now we're gonna go on to some brighter news with trailers of the week.
Ooh.
Who dug it?
It's now this trailer corner.
And now to get some nostalgia with this trailer for Fuller House. And I'm not gonna lie, kind of like Zoolander 2, I was kind of shocked by this trailer because Steve and I growing up, we watched Full House a lot. And I feel like they got the nostalgia down with this Fuller House remake.
They got that whole 90s vibe going. I've seen
Similar song.
I've seen me my share of Full House, and they definitely got it going. I like it.
They got the original cast back, and they all look pretty good except...
Bob Saget looks like he sold himself on the streets for a decade.
See, I feel like that for the uncle, too.
Well.
Oh yeah, I mean kinda. He still looks pretty fine.
No, he looks old.
Not hot uncle, but fat uncle. He also looks like time took a bad toll on him.
I thought you were talking about John Stamos.
No, I told you.
John Stamos looking fine.
I was commenting even in the trailer. I was like, damn, what blood sacrifice?
I know, he looks
satanic
the same.
ritual did he have to go through to just stay good looking for so many years? He's like the Jennifer Aniston male equivalent. She just looks good every year. She never changes.
I know, dude. And the best part about Fuller House is it's coming February 26th, so we don't have too long to wait. And I know Steven is pretty pumped to see this, mostly out of curiosity.
He's gonna call off work for a week.
I was gonna say I'm curious right now but that's just for the feel I got from the trailer based on like the theme of it and how they trying to go farther back to the original a lot.
It's gonna be nice to have like that clean like comedy, I guess. Like Full House was like that cheesy sitcom type deal.
Yeah,
and
we don't
really have that anymore. So it's good to have some cliche.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of them are trying to adapt nowadays, but that's like the epitome of all like one of the cliche.
I hope it's still family friendly.
Oh yeah, right.
I think
so I can show the kids.
I need drugs, sex, and alcohol.
And I wonder when it showed those two twin guys. I wonder if those were the original twins from the show.
For some reason, I doubt it.
Me too, but that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would.
I mean, if I was offered, hey, you were in a kid when you were in a show when you were a baby, you want to be in the
there's like
reboot.
Oh god, unless they were
but
both.
They probably can't act.
What if they were all both like morbid, obese?
Yeah, what if they're like obese now or something weird?
They hunted down the original twins and they were just like fat as fuck. Both have diabetes. They
and one thing you're missing from the trailer, I don't think they're going to be in the show, is Mary-Kate and Ashley, the twins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they hardly show them. You're right.
I don't think they were in it at all.
I don't care
for them. Aren't they like crack whores?
Yeah,
now,
so
or?
I don't think they're going to be in it.
Even though Bob Saget's probably done
Hey, whatever happened to her?
Oh, they're crack whores now. If they legit just say
they're selling themselves on the street for that
I always knew
crack.
that would happen.
But yeah, who knows, if it's good enough, we might review it on the podcast.
So that was a very strange trailer that we saw. I wasn't expecting to see this show. I've heard about it was coming out, Fuller House, but I didn't think it was going to be coming out soon. But now we have this first-person action trailer called Hardcore Holly. I was thinking of the wrestler Hardcore Henry, and it. Judging from the beginning of the trailer, it seems like this guy was dead, or like, was he dead and then he reconstructed?
Yeah, it looks like he had like robot parts and
like he's
twisting.
like I don't know how much of him is man and how much of him is machine, but
the full-blown Darth Vader treatment without the mask.
Yeah, exactly. And he's basically kind of like Mario trying to get Peach. He has to go rescue his girlfriend, wife.
I'm not quite sure what the mission is.
She seems like she was like really
he has to
weird.
rescue Jennifer Lawrence, okay?
Or whoever, Jennifer Lawrence clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm kind of fascinated to see the first-person shooter thing in theaters, but I don't know how it's going to hold up, like when you take it home and stuff. I don't know how, or if it's going to spark like a new first-person genre. That'd be kind of weird.
And I hope
it does, because it looks really cool.
And
action-packed, definitely.
I was saying to you fellas too, while this is going on, that like I saw Doom, the remake Doom. That came out like 2004 or 5 with The Rock. There's a part, there's a part near the end where it goes into first-person view, and you guys can see like through the scopes of this guy just going around the facility, just killing all these infected demon people and shit like that. And it's really fucking cool. But it was only like 5-10 minutes worth. Like it was a good chunk. It was a decent chunk of the movie. And but this is gonna be a full. An hour and a half, 2 hour movie. You know,
hopefully the gimmick doesn't go away after a while. I don't think it will.
Yeah, that.
If they keep the action
time
going.
will only tell. It's gonna be weird for people. I'm gonna say that.
And like especially people who don't play video games, it's gonna give them like that feeling that they are kind of.
Oh yeah, I guess you would. Yeah, I get you.
People just leave the theater. I'm a gamer now.
What if they had this
#gamer?
What if they can integrate this movie into a VR system and you can like look around and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
they really could.
Dude, yeah. What if this is the steps to VR movies type like that? That'd be insane.
That'd be so fucking sick.
That's when first person becomes a real genre.
Too real.
Too real for me to handle.
I can also see that happening.
Dude, and like that
Seems
one
like
part
just
in the
natural.
trailer when he's falling in the sky in that tube, that seemed pretty cool. It was like free falling.
Oh yeah, and he does like a few barrel rolls too, a couple times from like a very long drop and stuff like that. It looks very real, like how it would be in real life, and busting through a car and shooting at the drivers.
I hope they keep like the cool music in the movie too, make it awesome.
Yeah.
Don't pull a Witness. Give us a good.
Oh yeah, give us good soundtrack and never use it in the fucking game or any soundtrack for that matter. God damn.
Nothing.
Silence.
So many hopes for The Witness.
Silence to solve these puzzles.
God, yeah, I know. It's like I wouldn't mind that song playing. It would encourage me to get through it. It's kind of an encouraging song. Oh, that's neither here nor there. we got other trailers going on about.
Our next little bit of movie news is The Purge 3. You saw that trailer?
People still want The Purge.
Yeah, apparently they're still making these, so now we gotta talk about it.
Bloomhouse.
We gotta force ourselves to talk about it because it's news.
I guess it looks more interesting than any other Purge I've seen. It's about some politician lady.
Senator.
Yeah, they actually
senator, and she's trying to make the purge illegal, and the purge people do not want her to make it illegal.
The corrupted government.
And it all kind of plays out from there.
And
finally they're showing the politics behind all this killing legal.
as they probably should,
yeah.
so that it doesn't become so generic and repetitive. But judging, I've never seen the Purge movies, but based on how well the trailer was made, it did give me the impression they got the main character from the first one, main character of the second one.
Mm-hmm. Got them together.
And they're somehow together, like the guy,
which is pretty cool for people who like the first two.
Yeah, the first one, the woman, she's the senator. She's the one trying to end the purge, and then the main character from the second movie, he's like the bodyguard for her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool relationship, and they both have experience with the purge and whatnot. And
I mean, the premise is cool, but the first movie didn't execute it very well, and I never saw the second one, but I heard it wasn't that great either, so
yeah,
maybe third time's a charm, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I know, but
if you want to see a good Purge story, see Rick and Morty Season 2, Episode 8.
Exactly, the Purge episode, that's what you want.
That's good Purge, with that humor spice, Purge done right. Good premise, like I said.
Hashtag Purge time.
I really don't want to. I don't want to bring any hopes that we might review because I just really don't want to watch the first two.
I don't think
to get myself ready.
To be honest, I don't think we're reviewing this one.
Yeah. So I just want to lay it out there for anyone who's wondering.
Yeah, unlike most things we talk about on the show, you probably won't review this other than the trailer. And our final trailer for this week was the Daredevil Season 2 trailer, and I gotta say, it knocked all our socks off.
My socks are out the window. I don't even know where they are.
The music was gorgeous. I'm just gonna point that out throughout the whole.
I agree.
It got the tone of the whole series down, and it got me so hooked. So hooked.
Season 1 was better than expected for most people.
It came out of nowhere.
Included.
It kind of broke the superhero TV show rep where they're not nearly as good.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, especially for the listeners.
Spoil shit.
And I think Season 2 they struck gold with genius by making Punisher the villain in this season.
Yeah, John Bernthal is the name of the actor who's playing the Punisher. He was Shane from The Walking Dead, and also he was in that new what was that new movie that we saw?
What was the premise?
It's the cartel one that I liked, you didn't like. Sicario. He was also in Sicario. He played like the scummy douchebag who tried to kill that one detective and whatnot.
Oh, that's the only way I've seen him then.
Basically, in all the roles he's in, he always plays as an asshole, and boy, does he play it fucking well. He's just like this like hulking demeanor. He has this face that looks kind of like threatening, aggressive in a way, and he definitely knows how to get kind of crazy based on The Walking Dead. How he gets crazier and crazier from Season 1 to Season 2 without spoiling anything.
And they get into each other's philosophies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it was a battle of philosophies, and in the trailer, you have Punisher, who's quote-unquote crazy, killing all these gang members, but you can understand his reasoning, it makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
you're just a half measure. That was a great line.
He says, you beat them down, but they get back up. They don't get back up after me.
Yeah.
So,
it's gonna be so hardcore. We don't have to wait that long. It's March 18th, and it's a couple days apart from Batman vs. Superman. Think about that week, dude.
Coming soon.
And it's gonna be all released, all the episodes at once, like Netflix always does.
And you better believe we are reviewing that on the podcast.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. So many good movies and TV shows coming out.
2016 is the year, man.
Definitely go watch it if I had to say anything.
It's a great start with Deadpool already.
Now, just to make sure we get back on time before we keep going crazy over Deadpool, we are moving into video game news. There's not really too much going on, but one of the main video game news that will definitely capture a lot of people's interest is the Zelda Netflix series. Have you guys played any Zelda?
I've played Majora's Mask.
I've played nothing, and I say, what the hell?
I haven't been a lot, but I definitely played hours at least 6 hours worth in each of the games that have been, like, the major ones that have been released in the last 10 years.
I've only played half of Majora's Mask,
That's one of everyone's favorites. It's J-Tromp's favorite, too.
I kind of hope they do that storyline, because it's the one I know.
And, it's definitely one of the darker ones, too. They definitely could get into it.
Dude, like we were talking about earlier on this episode, Netflix, if they, just like the Old Republic, if they put a lot of money into it, it could be cool, because I guess Zelda has a good premise, it's a bit too kiddie. I wonder if they're going to go kiddie with it, especially since it's live action or more adult.
You really can't make a movie out of this, too, for those who want, like, a big budget thing. You really can't, because he has to go, like, the whole point of Zelda's progression, going through dungeons, finding more about the history of the land and stuff like that. You know, it's always rich with goddesses and spirits, and it's a really cool fucking world. That's just really cool to get immersed in.
And it gives like a chance, like me, a non-fan, to get into the series. I guess.
And especially if there might be with this new wave of video game movies probably gonna be coming out soon, which we're probably gonna see a lot. Now we're gonna get video games. They're the new superheroes. I literally think video games are the new superhero.
Even though I think it's just like the comic book, it's going to be impossible to top the original video game because you're playing as that character and it feels like you're more immersed with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Than you ever could be in the movie.
You know, it's going to be weird how they're going to integrate this. They definitely need a good budget in order to make this at least half appealing. You need to have good costumes. You have to have good casting for the main character, Zelda. How's Ganondorf going to look? Is he going to be in there? Or is it going to be the Majora's Mask guy? You know, that would be cool. You know,
Link,
he freaks me out. And Link.
Zelda.
will Link say anything? He has to say things. He's always a silent protagonist, but everyone usually talks over him.
He's gotta be talking now. He's gonna have his own personality, which could be weird, I guess.
But it's definitely going to be worth seeing. And only, like we said in a lot of these trailers and whatnot, and movie news, only time will tell as time goes on, because we literally don't know anything else other than that.
We need to see a trailer for this shit.
Netflix, as I said earlier, has really good miniseries. They have a really good standard, I feel like, in terms of all the shows that they really try to integrate. Even anime.
Yeah. Speaking of anime, they're doing a Voltron series too. Man.
Yeah, I see. I have to get more into. I have to look up more backstory into Voltron.
Exactly, it's a great chance to get into Voltron, this new Netflix series. It's a reboot.
I just saw Knights of Sidonia, and it's one of the coolest, typical like Gundam style like space things, but it's more like Walking Dead feel. It's so cool. I can't get really too much into it.
Our next piece of video game news this week is Bungie's Destiny. Looks like it's getting a giant, quote-unquote, expansion pack here in the year of our Lord 2016.
You're the dog.
And also they're already planning on Destiny 2 in the next year. So that sounds cool.
How do you feel about this, Apollo, for a new expansion coming out? Do you think that they're diverting their resources too much and probably splitting their teams?
It's definitely weird that they're planning a huge expansion at the same time as they're doing the sequel for the next year. That kind of just screams sellout to me. Like, they should definitely wait for Destiny 2 a couple more years and keep putting more content into the original Destiny like they said they were going to do in the first place.
Yeah, they promised a 10-year plan originally.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was one everyone's selling. That was like one of the main basic arguments people said that would still love Destiny. I was talking shit. I was just like, you can't say it's going to be a development in 10 years, especially when it's not a full MMORPG. I still like the game. Yeah. It has potential. It has great potential.
It's still a lot of fucking fun.
I was going to say, it's a lot of fun. I was going to say, with your homeboys, it's definitely
and
a
apparently
blast.
their last expansion was a huge one, so I predict this one's going to be good. It's going to be good. I have no doubts. But I'm worried about Destiny 2. Because didn't you say recently they just switched CEOs? Did all this?
CEO of Bungie stepped down and this new guy was appointed, and the CEO apparently wanted to focus all of their time and effort on Destiny 2, get that ready and stuff like that, and then they weren't having, I guess, the boards or whoever the major investors are into their company made him resign or whatever. Supposedly, I think that, but I'm pretty sure I got that from two different sources that are pretty good for me to believe that.
That's good. But that makes me wonder, because they've been working on this 10-year plan. I wonder if for Destiny 2 they just took an expansion they were working on and made it Destiny 2.
Yeah, and what's weird,
which I could easily see them doing.
Yeah, if it comes out in 2017,
which is so soon.
That's 3 years after Destiny first one.
And they've been focused mainly on the expansions, though.
And Fallout 4 has been in development for 7 years, and then Final Fantasy 15, 10 years. And this is supposed to be like an MMO shooter thing. And you're going to spend 3 years on it? I'm very skeptical. It seems like you're going to have to definitely get the season pass in order to have and get your bang for your buck for it.
Just to get the full game.
But then, are you really getting your bang for your buck, or you just throwing
exactly,
more buck at
exactly. It'd be like me, where I had Destiny DLC or Dying Light DLC. Yeah. I have the following, and I still haven't played it because I bought the season pass. Apparently, I forgot all about it.
I got the season pass for Destiny, and I didn't even get all its DLC, which pissed me off. Even though I knew that going in.
We didn't get the giant expansion that just happened. Yeah, we got two shitty DLC.
Yeah, we got the two
House of Wolves,
DLC.
And something else after that. That was $60. That was $60 worth. Are you kidding me? $60 extra worth from the game.
No, not in my book.
That's
why I think Bungie is going down a slippery slope.
I feel like every company is kind of doing that nowadays. All the OGs are selling out because they have to retire, and all the young people are just thirsty for money, so they're cutting back on content and effort and pumping.
All the heart's gone and it feels, and I really don't want to diss Destiny. If anyone that likes Bungie, it's me. Halo is my favorite FPS shooter franchise of all time. I've read the books and shit. And this is what got me into video games, is Halo. seeing them reduced to this now, it seems like
Go the
going
way
into
of
a
EA.
Ubisoft approach. I only now have Bethesda and BioWare for me to trust fully.
Trust no one.
And they're all RPGs because you know why? They take their fucking time making games. They know when a game is finished.
I'd throw in Naughty Dog and Rockstar.
Oh yeah, and Naughty Dog too.
Rockstar
Yeah.
and Bethesda are my two trustables right now.
Oh yeah, and I keep thinking about Rockstar. They take their time. Yeah, all
Rockstar,
correlation they take.
Rocksteady.
They don't release a Grand Theft Auto every year because then it'd be awful.
And they give out free updates for it too. Like and people like The Witcher. They didn't have a season pass. They gave you the first 2 or 3 DLCs free.
Now that's just good fucking business right there. More people are gonna want to
And-
buy a
and
game.
these
when
are the
they already
people-
go in knowing they're gonna get tons of expansions
And
for free.
these are the people that as soon as you start a new game, they have a note for you saying, "Thank you for playing this game and purchasing this game." They even have a note for people that pirated it. They have a specific different letter to them, even though you downloaded
Thank
this
you for pirating
for
this game.
free. When we still like your support for the franchise and stuff like that. That's
Thanks
so
for taking
cool.
the time to play this, even though you stole it.
So it's cool shit like that.
Dude, that's mad respect. So some going slippery, but we still have our main studios.
Yeah, we still have a handful that we can still rely on. Luckily.
Hell yeah. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. Stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we're going to have a Far Cry Primal review. Can't wait to play that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And the Division comes out early March, so a lot of big things to
It's
review.
early March.
Hot mama.
So stay tuned for that. And if you have a spare moment to visit our website, there you can find information on our show. And this week we're uploading new character bios. And you can also find our stoner story, Meet the Parents versus the Terminator. And very, very soon, Silly Dingo is going to be updated.
Oh yeah.
These are definitely character bios you are gonna very much enjoy.
Yeah, dude. Spoiler, the one I'm putting up this week is the Hawk. It's going to be Steven's alternate personality when he's fiending that weed.
And no one knows it's him ever for some fucking reason.
Yeah, so... And if you have a spare buck or two, please donate to our Kickstarter so we get a finished animated product, not to only show you the fans, but show the studios as well. But if you don't have the money, I understand. You want to go spend that money on Deadpool or something. It helps. It goes a really long way to comment, rate, and subscribe and get our name out there. And as always, stay lifted, my friends.
Good night, everyone, and good luck during the purge.
Oh God!
Because it starts
May
now.
God have mercy on your souls. And you guys also have a good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever the fuck or whatever time you're watching this. And may the force be with you. Always.
And forever.
Amen.
Justice forever.